Sergeant Baker's contributions to federal procurement and energy conservation were significant and innovative. He developed expertise in federal procurement and market research, becoming a subject matter expert for the Department of Defense in energy-efficient lighting and energy conservation procurement programs. His work positioned the DoD as a leader in the energy movement ahead of the commercial sector. The McGuire concept, developed by Sergeant Baker, was a groundbreaking buying process that incentivized cost reduction in procurement. This unique concept rewarded individuals for saving funds on awarded contracts' next purchase price, particularly for mandatory sourced items from the Defense Logistics Agency, DLA, in Richmond, Virginia. Sergeant Baker's expertise was largely self-taught, and he faced initial skepticism from government agencies. However, his knowledge was so valuable that lighting industry manufacturers sent engineers to train him on base for months. This collaboration was crucial in overcoming resistance to his innovative ideas. Using his extensive market research and industry knowledge, Sergeant Baker challenged the existing energy lighting catalog used by the federal government. The DLA had issued a 700-item energy lighting catalog for mandatory use, but it was largely in use due to high costs and long payback periods. Sergeant Baker's approach dramatically reduced costs, lowering the price of a light bulb from $6 to $1 and a light fixture from $256 to $37. These reductions shortened the payback period for lighting from 14 years to less than 3 years, making energy conservation initiatives more feasible and attractive. The McGuire concept's success in reducing costs by 25% to 75% for all items caught the attention of DLA senior leadership. Sergeant Baker was invited to train 50 contracting officers at DLA headquarters on effective market research techniques and how to write better contracts to maintain lower costs using the McGuire concept for energy-efficient lighting products. Sergeant Baker's work demonstrates the power of innovative thinking, thorough market research, and industry collaboration in improving government procurement processes and advancing energy conservation efforts. His story is a testament to how dedication and ingenuity can lead to transformative changes in even the most established systems.
Relationship with Charles Baker by Rob Ragazine. Charles and I were introduced through a mutual acquaintance in the energy services industry several years ago. The person who introduced us had told me about Charles and some of the background of Charles's life and career, as well as Charles' lack of inhibition regarding both of these topics. Having been in the industry as long as I have, I've met a lot of people who claimed a lot of things, and I've been pretty good at weeding through the hype to determine who actually could back up their claims and who couldn't. So I had my guard up when I was first introduced to Charles. However, from the moment we started talking, it was obvious that Charles had legitimate experience and knowledge of the energy industry, and in particular, lighting and the electrical side of the business. He also had a very interesting career in the military. And as described, he was not shy about discussing it and his success in it. He shared some amazing stories that frankly I took with a grain of salt, feeling that if even half of them were somewhat true, it was still impressive. Beyond all the claims, there was a very interesting person who definitely had an interesting career, and I found that I genuinely liked him. And the more we spoke, the more business and personal traits we seemed to share. We spent a couple of hours talking that night and getting to know each other, and I think we both walked away feeling we could and should work together. As time went on, we continued to develop our relationship, including meeting personally with our wives. Also, as time went on, Charles kept backing up all of the claims he had made, including some that I may not have fully believed at first. Charles has many talents, but as it relates to the energy industry, and more directly, contract law, procurement and implementation of projects for federal facilities, and the use of small business enterprises, I have found Charles to be by far the most knowledgeable person on these topics. Not one of the most knowledgeable, the most knowledgeable. This includes the many people who are employed by the government, working for large departments responsible to know and enforce these rules. I sat in many meetings and phone conferences where Charles regularly proved he was the smartest person in the room on these topics. He certainly taught me most of what I know about federal contracting. Charles and I have had the pleasure of working together on several projects, and more importantly, we have continued our personal friendship. I was not surprised to hear about the idea for this book and video, and I am honored that I was asked to contribute to it.